welcome to Gainesville, Florida. We're at the O'Connell Center on the campus of the University of Florida for the 1997 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship. Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea Joyce. The history of this competition has always revolved around three schools, Utah, Alabama, and Georgia. No one else has ever even won the NCAA championship. But this year, for the first time ever, neither Utah nor Alabama will compete for the team title. Both failed to make the Super Six. Georgia, meantime, did qualify for the Super Six competition, along with UCLA, Arizona State, Michigan, Florida, and Nebraska. Joining me now, our analyst for this competition, 1984 Olympic gold medalist Julianne McNamara. Hard to believe Utah and Alabama, with 12 NCAA titles between them, are out. What does that do to the field?
Well, Andrea, in the past few years, we've talked a lot about the parity in women's collegiate gymnastics. This year, the gymnasts are even talking about it much better, that the gap has really been narrowed, and this championship is wide open.
It would appear, though, on paper that Georgia has the edge. They do have the top-ranked team on vault, bars, and floor.
Well, they're by far the most experienced team, comprised mainly of juniors and seniors. They have a very showy and exciting style, and their rock is Kim Arnold, a top all-around performer who still brings that dazzling style, but is very grounded, very consistent, and a very clean performer.
So where will their biggest competition come from?
Well, UCLA is by far their biggest competition. The only thing that UCLA is lacking is the tradition of winning. They've always been an extremely talented team. This year, they have the consistency to go along with it. They have a great team leader in Leah Holma. She is an unbelievably talented all-around performer. They describe themselves as cool and calm, very different style from Georgia. And Michigan, they have been coming on the last few years. They were only missing a tiny little piece to that puzzle. Well, they found their piece, and a great new freshman, Sarah Kane. She's brought depth to the team, a lot of poise, and it's been very solid for them. She's made them into not just a maybe contender, but a definite contender.
No question about it. This is a big-time event for Nebraska. The Cornhuskers celebrating their first ever appearance in the Super Six. And in the first rotation, Arizona State starts on vault, Florida on bars, Georgia is on beam, Nebraska starts off on the floor. Here's Jenny Beathard, first up for Georgia on beam. 20 years old, a very consistent leadoff performer for the Gym Dogs.
And the leadoff spot is most important on this event, the balance beam, where you really want to start off with a solid score and then build those scores as the team progresses. Here's her key move here. 2 back handsprings into a laid-out backflip. Oh! 0.5 of a point deduction. More than anything, I think emotionally for a team to start out this way, it's very unsettling. They need to regain their composure.
Well, Jenny Beathard still doesn't seem to have her rhythm back up on the beam.
She's definitely been a little flustered. Understandably, they've got a lot of pressure on them here. That was a nice switch side leap. Straddle jump combination, a requirement.
The music you hear in the background is for the floor exercise. 4 events going on at one time in this one gym.
Remember, they've still got 5 performers, and if they all hit, they don't have to count the ball, but it just puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the team. A double twist dismount, nice dismount.
But not exactly the way Suzanne Yocklin wants to start this competition.
We always talk about the hips being squared over the beam, and you can see here, her right hip just completely pulls her off.
And a 9-3-0 for Beathard. Georgia definitely will want to drop that score. Over to the bars now, and Florida's Chrissy Vogel, a 5-time All-America from right here in Gainesville.
She'll start out with a giant bulge, a release move, a very nice high that's called a Dikachev. It's difficult because you're actually flying over the bar blind. You can't see it until you actually re-grasp the high bar. setting up for her dismount, double back in a tuck position.
Solid performance for the 22-year-old. Florida guaranteed a better finish than last year when they came in 8th. The worst they can do this year is 6th. Arizona State's Lisa Vincentjanovic ready to vault. She has been slowed this season by an ankle injury.
And watch her approach. It's excellent. She has excellent speed, good height, just a little step on the landing.
Coach John Feeney delighted to have his team back at the NCAA championships, first time since 1994. Meantime, Chrissy Vogel scored a 9.80 on her bars routine for the Gators. And Vincentjanovic with a 9.85 for that vault. Over to the floor now, freshman Heather Brink of Nebraska. Brink, the Big 12 newcomer of the year.
She's actually setting up for her last tumbling pass here. And remember, this is where you're very tired. And she actually performs through a tuck double back. Very difficult. Excellent.
Well, she may be a freshman, but Heather Brink performing like a seasoned veteran in her first NCAA championship. Rotation 1 continues in a moment.
The NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships are sponsored by Old Spice High Endurance.
Heather Brink scores a 9.75 for her floor routine. The Cornhuskers just missed making the Super 6 last year by 0.25 of a point. Meantime, Suzanne Yockland's Georgia squad always strong, but has stumbled under pressure recently. She addressed that point earlier.
First thing I want to talk to you about is pressure. We have a lot of pressure on us right now. You have a lot of pressure on yourself, and I have a lot of pressure on me. I think that it's really important that we just meet it head on and just stare those demons down. Why do we have a lot of pressure on ourselves? We were ranked number 1 the entire season. How many times have people said to you that just go out there and win it all? It's your meat to lose. Over and over again we've heard that, and that is pressure. But the reality is that it's there. And what we need to do is use that to our advantage and make sure that it's good pressure, that it's something that creates an atmosphere that makes us focus even more. The fun, the excitement, the fact that the pressure is going to be something that we're just going to absolutely welcome. We're going to embrace it, and we're going to enjoy it, and we're going to ride that pressure all the way through the competition.
Well, Georgia hoping to shake off a rocky start on beam. Here's Sam Muehlman